Welcome back to the State and Local Sports Show here with Mark Tennis, the co-founder and editor of CalHighSports.com. We're recording this on a Tuesday, the day after another amazing national championship football game between Clemson and Alabama. Clemson won this time. The top recruit from the state of California, Najee Harris, a running back from Antioch, recently announced he is indeed going to go to Alabama. There had been some questions for a while. Is he considering Michigan? Is he even considering Cal? For a while we thought he was just going to show up on campus somewhere and that's how it would be done, but it seems like more of a close to cemented thing since he can't actually sign until next month. I know you've had a little bit of personal interaction with Najee as he was your Mr. Football State Player of the Year last year, and he's a different dude because you got to tell people about him who might not have heard about his personality.
He has kind of a playful, almost artistic personality, and he plays around with reporters a little bit. He has a nice personality. He jokes around. He's not that serious about some stuff. He'll joke around, and hopefully he'll kind of keep that as long as he can before he gets kind of jaded by the media. And so far he hasn't been. And when he was at the Nike event last spring, you know, a lot of the national recruiting guys, you know, he knows them already, and he didn't talk to them at all about recruiting, but he still talked to them and was personable, and hopefully he has that sort of attitude about the media, you know, moving forward in his career and doesn't become more negative and dealing with the press. But we'll see. You know, the fact that he's going to Alabama is probably real good for his long-term career, because if he went pretty much anywhere else, he'd be the star right away and get a lot of carries. At Alabama, he's probably not going to get nearly as many carries because there's so many other good players. He may not necessarily get in line behind too many guys, but there's so many other great running backs there that they're going to take away a lot of his carries. And that, for him, is probably what you have to look at, because he's got only a limited number of carries in his body, like all great running backs, and you want to be paid in the NFL for as many of those carries as possible.
You mentioned his personality being a little different. It's nice to see that he doesn't have that kind of false bravado. And you mentioned being jaded by the media. That almost makes me think of another Bay Area running back in Marshawn Lynch, who is there's videotapes of him on, I think maybe Cal High Bay Area or whatever other sports show when he was in high school, and even in Cal, just being gregarious, and then flash forward a few years at the Super Bowl, and he's just saying, I'm just here because I have to be. I'm just here because I'm paid. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Najee, too. Hopefully he keeps being able to have fun with it. Coming up on Saturday and then next Monday, the St. Mary's Girls Basketball MLK Showcase. This is an event that really packs in some of the best from not just California, but other states as well from time to time. How does this compare to other showcases across the country? Because the Martin Luther King Day Showcase has become really this giant entity in high school basketball.
Yeah, they have both on the boys and the girls side, and this one is great, and it's great because it's right down the street. We don't have to travel and get in the car and drive 2 hours or anything.
It's 4 minutes away from your office.
It's awesome. No, it's great, and it does seem to get a little bit better every year. It gets a little bit better every year. You know, this year there was a good chance that we were going to have on the Monday games the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 teams in the state playing in back-to-back games. Well, unfortunately, of course, St. Mary's lost last Saturday to Carondelet, so they're now no longer third. But Archbishop Mitty is number 2. They're playing at 11:30 on Monday. Clovis West of Fresno is number 1 and also number 1 in the nation, and they're playing at 1 p.m. on Monday. And then after that comes St. Mary's against Bishop Alemany, a pretty solid team from Mission Hills in the San Fernando Valley. So when you get those kind of matchups and that kind of hype you can build into your event, that's all good and great, and this one keeps getting bigger and better.
Looking at some of those matchups, on Saturday we got St. Mary's against Centennial of Las Vegas, Nevada at 1 p.m., Lincoln against Bishop Alemany of Southern California, that's at 7 p.m., and that's on Saturday. On next Monday, we have St. Mary's against Alemany at 2:30, Lincoln against Fairmont Prep of Orange County at 5:30, Brookside Christian against Heritage at 8:30. Any of those particular matchups stand out to you involving our teams from Stockton here?
Well, you know, this is St. Mary's event, and people are going to focus on St. Mary's the most. But this is a big weekend for Lincoln locally. Bishop Alemany, the team they're playing on Saturday, has been a very solid state top 20 team the last few years under their head coach, a really great guy named Brian Camacho. And then the team they're playing on on Monday, Fairmont Prep is probably pretty much unknown to everybody. They're from Anaheim, but they've actually been the number one team in Orange County the last couple weeks. Even they had a Mater Day, so they've had some very good wins to start the season. They're not at the level of St. Mary's, but that's a very solid program. And for Lincoln to get one of these, two wins would be real big for that team.
Another player to watch or that might not quite be ready yet is Najee Murray. She was a first-team All-Area guard last year, plays for St. Mary's. She's recovering from an ACL tear. I think she had spoken about trying to come back mid-January, which is, of course, a showcase. You wonder if you want to rush back an injury as tough as that. So something to watch. Not sure if she'll be suited up or not this weekend. Over on the boys' side, I'd say boys basketball around here, it's arguable, but I'd say Andre Kelly of Lincoln, probably the top boys basketball recruit from this county. He's got 5 West Coast offers, including UOP and Damon Stoudemire. As you look statewide, who are some of the biggest boys basketball recruits right now, regardless of their year in school?
Well, I'll start with the juniors because Andre's a junior, and the top 2 juniors are one is in Sacramento in Roseville. Jordan Brown of Wood Creek High School, which is the number 1 team in Northern California right now, number 1 in the section. Won the Gridley tournament. He's been a 6'10", 6'11" center since his freshman year and very highly regarded nationally. He probably was the number 1 recruit in the state in that class until Marvin Bagley moved in from Arizona and is now at Sierra Canyon of Chatsworth. So Marvin is probably, a lot of people think, is the number 1 junior in the whole country. And Sierra Canyon has been number 1 as a team in the country. They're not right now, but so Marvin is now probably the number 1 kid in the class. Jordan's number 2, and Andre is certainly keeps moving up slowly up the charts. Seniors, you got, of course, LeAngelo Ball of Chino Hills. The next Ball brother is a senior. There's some other very good. Jalen Hands is a big-time point guard out of Foothills Christian in El Cajon, and has been spectacular this season. He's the type of kid that I think 5, 6, 7 years from now you might be saying, oh, this is the next, high-scoring, big-time point guard in the NBA from California. And right now we have a ton of them in the NBA from California.
All right, over on CaliSports.com, the Gold Club membership, less than $20 a year, less than $2 a month, and we'll see you at the showcase. Mark, thanks for joining us.
I will be there too. Thank you.